Anyways, let's go out on the video chat. Kevin Glenn joining us from, well, I'm assuming, can only assume Detroit, Michigan. There he is. Good morning, KG. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you just fine. I hope you can hear us. Obviously,
right.
you do.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you start with our poll question and answer it in your way, if you don't mind? What happens first? NFL team in Toronto, they call Toronto home, or a CFL team in Halifax? What do you think happens first?
I think a CFL team in Halifax.
83%, yeah.
See, I think probably that happens first before NFL teams comes to Toronto. I just don't think that the market is there right now for it. And with Buffalo being so close, if guys or people want to see an NFL game, they can drive to Buffalo.
Right. So, well, you're a good guy to ask as a guy that belonged to 9 teams. And by the way, I was just at Touchdown Atlantic. I would like to see them start playing now. Not going to happen, but would you, they could suit up a pretty good team right now with yourself, Weston Dressler, Rob Bagg. There's got to be a lot of old linemen hanging around. This would be the year to do it, wouldn't you think?
How did I know that was coming? You were probably right. You have a very, veteran team, and we probably would do pretty good. We should even get Micah Boo to come out of retirement and come play.
He's about 100 pounds lighter than his playing weight, just so you know. So it would take him a while to get ready. KG, you got a lot of things to get to with you, particularly going into Labor Day weekend, because I know you got some memories there, but you still fielding some calls? There's a lot of quarterbacks have gone down this year in the CFL. Has your phone been ringing?
A couple weeks ago, but not as of late. I think with the situation with Winnipeg, I think everybody kind of knows now that it's kind of a done deal.
Can you take us into that locker room in Winnipeg if you can? If you have an idea what they're going through right now with all this adversity over the last couple of weeks?
Oh, I honestly think that Winnipeg's locker room right now is good. I don't think that they're going through anything remotely negative right now. When I was there the last time, that was one thing that I kind of thought was really, really good was that locker room, the way that the guys in the locker room banded together whenever there was adversity. And I think they have a really good coaching staff who's going to put those guys in a position to be successful, even though it may be the second or third, team guys.
Kevin, don't you agree that sometimes, even though you don't want to see starting quarterbacks especially go down and whatnot, but don't you think that the adversity that you face at this time of year, different guys getting opportunities they may not normally get, can pay dividends down the road? So it might cost you a game or two here or there, might even cost you a spot in the standings. But in the long term, sometimes getting that adversity over with early in a season can actually be a positive thing as you get closer and closer to a playoff run.
I definitely think so. And that was basically kind of how I got a chance to play early on in my career. I got a lot of experience early on because we had quarterbacks that went down. I was behind Marvin Graves at the time, and we didn't do so hot in Saskatchewan at the time to make the playoffs. But, I had a lot of playing time, and I think that's what helped me, sustain the career that I did. I do think one thing, though, is that when these starting quarterbacks get hurt and the backups or the third string guys get a chance to go in, I think we as fans now need to stop, putting so much pressure on these backup quarterbacks, because it's like they go out in that one game, they have a good game, and then it's like if they go out and not do so well the second game, it's like, oh, he's a bust. And that's not true. We got to make sure that we still support these second and third string guys when they get an opportunity to go in and play.
Yeah, but they won't. And they think, we're paying good money to get here. We're going to boo them if we want to. We'll never change their thinking on that.
But we've been around this sport a long time, and I've been around the CFL, and everyone knows that there's an opportunity for the starter to go down at this point in time. And you don't necessarily get those Bo Levi Mitchells. He was a guy that came right in and was able to grasp the game itself with the help of other guys around him and play and take over, a team at a very young age. And there's not always that, you don't always get the Bo Levi Mitchells.
Kevin, I'm really interested to ask you this. I just wasn't on my radar, but since we're on this subject. So in a locker room, I realize you got all kinds of different personalities, but when when people are getting trashed on the team in the newspaper or on radio talk shows and the nonsense starts, how much talk is there in the dressing room about that? Does anybody ever come in with a newspaper and set it down and they're agitated beyond and people rally behind that stuff? Or does it rarely ever come up? Or how much attention do players on the whole pay to this stuff?
I don't think they pay too much attention to it, like out front. People you read the papers and they read the blogs and everything, but they don't make too much bigger news of it. They kind of like rally around the guys, and I think at the end of the day, because it's the ultimate team sport, you have to, because I have to stay. I have to support this guy in order for the team to win, which gives me success too. So I can't fall into the negative responses and the negative bashing of a player, because I'm not as his teammate. I'm not going to be successful either.
I think, KG, you would be a wonderful CFL ambassador for a lot of reasons. But one is you've got an experience here for Labor Day Classic. You've experienced it from an Eskimo a Stamps background, a tie-cap, Riders, Bombers. You must have a million memories this weekend.
I do have a million memories, but I still want to find out, is there any other quarterback that has won in every Labor Day Classic?
You're undefeated on Labor Day weekend?
No, I'm saying, is there any other quarterback that has won all three Labor Day Classics, has been a winning quarterback in all three Labor Day Classics?
Wow. The Toronto Hamilton, the Edmonton Calgary, and the Saskatchewan Winnipeg.
One guy?
You've won them all.
I've won them. I've been a winner in all of them. I'm trying to figure out if there's ever been another quarterback.
My guess is no.
Well, my guess is no. So I read it wrong. You're not saying you're unbeaten on Labor Day weekend. What you're saying is you've won for every team?
There's three Labor Day Classics.
I've
there's the
won
Riders
for
and
every
Bombers.
team.
There's Calgary, Edmonton, and there's Hamilton, Toronto.
Right.
He's won all three of those games.
Right.
For somebody.
For somebody. He's won every Labor Day Classic, like in the three different games.
For all six teams?
In the three.
Not all six teams, but in the game.
Teams, but in the game, the actual game. Follow us, Rod. Come on.
Come on, Rod. Stay
I'm
with
just saying,
us here.
I think you've lost just as many as you've won, potentially. Am I right on that?
I don't know. We have to do the record.
Yeah,
I played in a lot of them.
Nobody ever talks about that. What is your favorite? Because you have played in all of them. What's your favorite one?
Great question.
I mean, I'm gonna be biased, and I'm gonna have to say it's the Saskatchewan Winnipeg, and it's just, I don't know. It's the atmosphere. It's the atmosphere of the game. All of the games have a big game atmosphere, and it's unlike no other regular season game. But that Winnipeg Saskatchewan game on both sides it's just unreal. And I think it has a lot to do with the fans outside of the game, and not even during the game, but everything, all the antics that happen leading up to the game. I've been in situations where in Saskatchewan, we would have to sleep in the hotel the night before the game, and I can remember like Winnipeg fans playing football out in the street outside outside the hotel. Like they're playing it wasn't flag football either. It was like tackle in the streets,
in the parking lot
the night before the game, in the parking lot, and like fans running up and down the hallway, banging on doors, and it's just crazy, So I would probably have to say the Saskatchewan Winnipeg game is probably has been the most exciting.
Yeah, that is a great sales pitch right there. And lastly, KG, before we let you go, I've heard nothing other than that retirement's treating you great, but I haven't heard it from you. How are things here in retirement?
It's pretty good, Retirement is good. I'm helping out with my coach in the high school as far as this football team is going. So it's great to just be around the family and being able to even sit back and watch the games as a fan. I talked to, is kind of a funny situation where I talked to Kahari right before the Moncton game, and he talked about that play that he ran with Vernon that we actually ran back when I played in the game when I was in Hamilton. So just to to be involved with that kind of stuff and sit back and actually get a chance to watch it as a fan, and to be around the family. The first day of school is coming up. This will be the first time that I've ever had a chance to see my kids go to school, on their first day. So all that kind of stuff, like a first for me. The first family reunion I've been to in probably 18 or 19 years. That kind of stuff has really been good.
Good for you, KG. Great visit this morning. I appreciate it. Let's do it again here in the second half.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.